I'm Michael Hernandez with MLH Media and Valley Fight News, and I'm here with Andy Monarrez, who is going to be fighting on the upcoming card for Royal Combats Muay Thai promotions, and he is going to be fighting for the title, actually, in a pretty highly touted matchup. Not only due to the fact that it's a title bout, but because he has a 2-0 record in the MMA landscape as well. So, Andy, how are you doing today? Obviously, it's a big matchup coming up for you in the coming weeks, and how are you getting prepared?
I'm getting prepared just by, Coach Garrison Shilapaki. He has the game plan, the training regimen he has for us in place. It's something that I never doubt just because I know that I just have all the faith in the fact that how knowledgeable he is in this sport. And yeah, so we're just, the confidence comes from preparation and just leaving it all on the table when it comes to training.
Yeah, and that's just one of the things that I feel a lot of you Fight Solutions HQ guys do. And Fabian kind of mentioned it in an interview that we had. He said that you guys all push each other to your guys' limits. You guys try and find holes in your guys' game, and you guys really try and attack those holes. So I can only imagine what Gerson is telling you guys in that on those mats and kind of motivating you guys to do better. So for Muay Thai though, in Muay Thai action, it's a little difficult to find Muay Thai matches and stuff on the internet and find Muay Thai records. So I wanted you to kind of give a trajectory on your Muay Thai career. Is this your first Muay Thai matchup, or is this your matchup of many? How is this? How's your Muay Thai career been as of late? Because you obviously have that MMA career, and I was able to check out a couple of those fights, which were pretty awesome. And I'll make sure to link one of those because they're readily available. But the Muay Thai is always a little harder to find. So did you want to go into the Muay Thai action a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So right now I have 6 wins in Muay Thai, 0 losses, and yeah, I'm just trying to keep that momentum going. It's so this would be my 7th Muay Thai fight. And yeah, initially before I got into MMA, I started off with Muay Thai and just to rack up experience, striking experience, and yeah, so that's the trajectory is just aiming for March 19th, trying to get that belt, and we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you've been working more than enough to kind of go towards that goal because I mean 6 fights in a Muay Thai career, that's a pretty good record already for a lot of compared to a lot of these other guys on the card. So I mean to have 6 fights in Muay Thai and then 2 fights in MMA, I mean, already in your young career, you've gotten some great experience and you're undefeated in both of those realms. So, I mean, that's pretty dang impressive. But I also thought it was pretty interesting while looking kind of at your background and everything. You're a graduate from CSU Long Beach. What did you end up going to school for? What did you end up learning from your experiences over there?
So with Cal State Long Beach, I got my degree in economics. And so my experience there is I was a transfer student from a community college, and I transferred there in 2019. So realistically, I was only there for about a semester and a half, and then that's when the pandemic outbreak happened, and then it became Zoom University. So, but it was definitely an experience, like I felt like it was a testament to my dedication towards getting my degree and just whether or not if I really want to put my mind to something and accomplish it, whether it's the pandemic or not, just there's going to be obstacles in the way. There's no perfect road to any goal. So I feel like that was definitely yeah, so like I said, just making adjustments off the fly and getting my degree. It was a great experience. I just wish I would have experienced more of the student life, campus life. And at the time when I first signed up for Fight Solutions, we had 2 locations, which was obviously the one in Long Beach, that's our headquarters, and we had one in Redondo Beach. And I live in the South Bay. I live in Lawndale. So I kind of when I signed up initially, I told myself that's great. I could go train at school. I could just go train before school, and then I could come back and train later that night at home. And but yeah, so then that ended up happening, and it was a great experience overall. Met some really cool people, and I'm just happy that I was able to get my degree and finally putting it to use.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting that you decided to go into economics and you're also so interested in the MMA field. I feel like those are two things that really don't correlate in the sense of people like, oh, look at economics and look at MMA, but they really do have a good relation because I mean MMA does make a good amount of money and there's a huge fan base for it. So obviously you're entering into a good realm of sport here. But just wanted to touch on your interest in Muay Thai and Fight Solutions HQ a little bit more. So, how did you end up finding out about them? Was it kind of just like a mutual interest thing, or did you end up seeing an advertisement for them? What was your way of getting into MMA? Were you already a UFC fan?
So I used to play college baseball, and before when I was at the junior college, and then once my career kind of came to an end, my oldest brother AJ, he played pro baseball in Mexico. He's like a phenomenal baseball player growing up our whole life. I've always felt that like I lived under his like shadow as his like upcoming prodigy, you know.
Yeah.
And so I felt like when my baseball career was over, I was like, man, like I want to do something that I feel like makes me happy, you know? Like I felt like I was trying to live up to these expectations, just putting pressure on myself. And then one thing I've always wanted to do is martial arts. So I just started looking up what gyms I could really train at, uh, knowing that I go to school in Long Beach. And sure enough, I found Fight Solutions on YouTube on one of their Road to Greatness videos. And I just did more research on, I was just watching the fighters. Like one of the fighters I was watching was Anthony Workin, one of the pro fighters, and Michael Pollinger. And I just watching their technique, I just knew the gym was legit, and like the head coaches was just phenomenal, you know. So I was like, I definitely have to try this out, and I mean, signed up, and ever since then, this has been I've been there since. I've only been at Fight Solutions, so
That's absolutely amazing. You've kind of just jumped into the pool that is MMA, and you loved it because I mean, I can only imagine obviously having that older brother's footsteps to kind of like feel that you got to follow after, and then after your career you're just like, all right, what do I want to do now? And I'm so glad that you went into this realm because obviously you're super good at it, and the athleticism from your junior college baseball career it's kind of followed you over here to the MMA circuit. Because I mean I feel like all these former college athletes or former athletes in general just really have a knack for MMA because they're just able, their hand-eye coordination and everything else is just so much better than somebody that hasn't done that before. To continue about your baseball career, actually, because I did kind of see that you had a little bit of a baseball profile. How did you fare in your baseball career in like high school and then leading up to junior college? Did you ever have any D1 aspirations, or were you ever looking to go to a major college for it?
yeah, definitely. So baseball was like my first passion for sure. Growing up in a baseball family, like I played baseball since I was 4. Almost like anyone you ask that like grew up around me would know me for baseball. And so yeah, they definitely had aspirations of trying to play pro ball, like just like every kid's dream, you know. And so I feel like I've always worked hard towards being a better athlete. And luckily I feel like that really paid off in my transition once my career came to an end. I played junior college, didn't get much playing time. I kind of just hit that point where I was like, I want to do something that makes like me truly happy versus pursuing this. And not that I didn't like it, you know what I'm saying? It's just that I just felt like I was gravitating towards. And the martial arts has always been one thing I've always wanted to get into, but my whole thing was baseball, baseball, baseball. And I'm just kind of glad I found my own little path and just something, you know, I don't think I ever worked this hard when I was playing baseball, if I'm being honest. Because I mean, fighting it's a whole different like entity, you know, like you have somebody coming after your head, like it's versus baseball. You give up a home run, I mean, you're gonna go home fine, you know.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more on the line when you're jumping into that octagon compared to when you're hopping onto that diamond on the baseball field. And they should call you instead of Dustin Poirier the diamond because I mean of your former baseball career. I feel like that is just a trajectory that doesn't really often happen because like as you said, even the stigma around baseball, even though there is fights or whatever, there's oftentimes it's, oh well, it's not a contact sport, you know, quote unquote. So but obviously we both know there's definitely plenty of contact in baseball if you've watched your fair share of MLB games. But I also wanted to touch today on your Fight Solutions HQ training partners that you train with every single day, that are in the gym with you. Donovan Morris, Diego Roan, Fabian Hernandez. You also have Cody Williams there. They all have made MMA bouts, and now obviously you're making your Muay Thai championship debut. So how is it sharpening your skills with these guys every single day in and day out? Because I've asked the other guys at Fight Solutions, and they just all seem to have this kind of brotherly love for one another. And Fabian definitely had some kind words to say about you.
Thank you. And yeah, definitely. So it's I feel like we all move as a unit. We definitely work together. And I feel like Fabian, he mentioned a lot. Yeah, he kind of left out a few people. We have our pro fighter Anthony Warkin, another former pro fighter Michael Pollinger, and then you mentioned Donovan Morris, Fabian Hernandez, Cody Williams. We also got Hannah Gomez, and then Tatiana Brienza, Moises Hernandez, Michael Bozoff, Cameron Fasci, and Dejan King. And we also have like a younger generation, and those are the real killers, like the younger generation. They're really good. Like I started when I was 21, and these kids are starting when they're young. Like I could only imagine when they're my age. You got Vincent and Dahlia, Richie, Miles, Bradley, and Aldo. So it's definitely being around this just great people and this winning atmosphere. It's a welcoming environment, especially being an athlete. Like I feel like I've experienced many environments of just being around. When you're around great athletes and great teammates, it just makes the pursuit of chasing whatever goal you want a lot more easier.
Yeah, and I feel like what I was saying in the regards to the teammates that you fight with, it's just like there's so many great training partners over there at Fight Solutions HQ. I literally just named the amateur dudes, and that was plenty. I can only imagine obviously the plethora of professional guys, and then I always see those videos of those little killers that you were talking about. They definitely they can throw some crazy blows, and I obviously when they get to that age, it's going to be pretty interesting what Garrison is cooking up over there, because he's gonna have his hands full with a lot of those kids, because they're making some splashes in their age groups. But just a couple of last questions for you here, because I really do appreciate your time, and I appreciate you kind of pulling over and giving me a little bit of your time. It kind of reminds me of the Jorge Masvidal interviews with Ariel Helwani that you've been doing recently. But for your upcoming title fight, obviously your opponent, I don't know if you've ever contacted your opponent or you've ever been in contact with them before, but if there's just anything that you kind of wanted to say to your opponent before you head into this matchup on March 19th.
Well, it's not necessarily to my opponent. I guess it just should be to whoever's watching this. March 19th, you got two talented strikers that's coming out to compete, trying to take home the belt. And that's one thing I've really been looking forward to this camp, just being an athlete. In order to be the best, you got to fight the best. And I just feel like a win over each other will be a big statement on each other's resume. So that's one thing I'm really looking forward to, is putting on a show. And that's why you should get tickets.
Yeah, most definitely. And also, if you did you have any tickets left?
Yeah, of course. I still have tickets. I'm kind of running low. I mean, but we should be getting a bit more if anything, but I know the event is probably going to end up selling out. And like you said, just all respect to my opponent, it's a fight I'm really looking forward to, and just like I said, putting on a show.
I always like to ask people their thoughts on their opponent or what they're looking for against their opponent, because it's definitely a different aspect compared to the professional scene where you kind of have this whole biography, or you're able to look up so much stuff on your opponent beforehand. I mean, a lot of the times you guys are facing people that are from a town over or from a couple towns over, so it's these people maybe on a personal level, or you've seen them fight before, so it's always a little bit more of a different affair when you guys get in the ring. But I love that aspect that you have going into it. It's just all respect, all love, and just going in there and just banging it out and seeing who comes out on top and who is the Royal Combats Muay Thai champion. But just these last couple of questions for you. When you go into that Muay Thai ring, or even when you jump into that MMA ring, is there anybody that you're kind of thinking of doing it for? Is it more for your own self benefit? Because I know you talked about you wanting to pave this own path for yourself in MMA compared to the baseball path that was provided maybe by your brother, or is it? Do you do this for your family? Is there anybody that you're going into that ring thinking about?
I would say definitely my family, you know. I just want to create a better life for my family and my loved ones. I feel like this is a and I feel like with fighting I have the ability to do so if I really apply myself to the full power, you know. I feel like with the training regimen Coach Garrison has over there at Fight Solutions, like we like you said, as long as you apply yourself, you're gonna develop, you know. And one thing that I feel like, and Coach Garrison and like is just a mentor on and off the mat. And I feel like that's one thing that really helps me transition to my mentality towards just life in general.
I like that thought that you have about Coach Garrison, and that you have that respect for him so much as a not only as a coach but as a mentor, because I mean that means so much more when you have that coach that you're able to visualize as kind of not like a father figure, but he's able to give you that advice and you're able to just soak it in like a sponge, you know. And that kind of just seems like what you've been able to take in from Garrison has definitely helped you in your MMA and Muay Thai career. So that's absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy to hear that Fight Solutions HQ has been treating you so well. But I mean, obviously, you've been shouting out Garrison, you've been shouting out a lot of people throughout this whole entire call. But was there anybody that you wanted to give a special shout out to in regards for this next upcoming fight? Maybe any training partners that have been helping you in particular, or any family members that have been really supporting you, really been outreaching for tickets?
Yeah, definitely. I would say just, I mean, my support system is like unreal, man. It's like I said, my sparring partners, Anthony Warkin and Michael Pollinger for this fight. And just all my teammates have supported me. Every member at the gym has been supporting me. And my strength and conditioning coach, Natasha Krieger. And that's another shout out I want to give is to my first sponsor, the company I work for. It's actually a New Wave Communications. So and this is a job I got probably 4 months ago, and the fact that they sponsored me, man, like it for this fight, it's just so surreal. Like it's I'm just grateful and blessed to be in the position I'm in, and just when you have a support system like I do, I feel like I just got to go out there and win. You know, that's the mentality. There's no other choice.
Yeah, that's the way that you're going into this matchup. Is you're carrying a lot on your shoulders, and I'm so happy to hear that that company is writing for you so much to where you're only 4 months in and they're already looking to sponsor you for this fight. And that's absolutely cool that they're just even cool with you fighting, because there's some companies that would obviously be a little bit be like, oh, I don't want you hurting yourself. But that's pretty cool that your company is so in support of you, and that they got your back just as much as any of those other Fight Solutions HQ members or any of your other family members, because that's amazing that they went out and sponsored you. But we are here and ending it off with Andy Monarrez. And I just wanted to go ahead and give a shout out to Royal Combat Productions for allowing me to be able to contact you and allowing me to be able to speak to you today. It was absolutely amazing being able to speak to all you fighters on the card. And yeah, I just was going to be Michael Hernandez of MLH Media signing out with Andy Monarrez, who will be facing off against Jimmy Truesdale at the Royal Combat Productions Muay Thai event. And he will be fighting for the title, a 6-0 record on the line. And he looks to take the victory.
Yes, sir.
All righty.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you. And congrats on that new job with the media team, bro.
Hey,
Big news, man.
thank you very much, brother. We're just gonna keep on working. We're gonna keep on seeing where this takes me to the top, hopefully.
Yes, sir, man. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you, Andy.
All right,
All
thank
right.
you. Have a good one, bro.